So guys, Nio stock crashed 6% yesterday. And what the hell is going on? When is Nio stock going to stop crashing? What the hell is going on? Well, it's all because Le Auto released their earnings report. Le Auto actually beat earnings estimate, both on revenue and earnings per share. All right, so beat on both, but the stock dropped 16%, Le Auto stock, dragging the whole entire market down. Well, more so the Chinese stocks, the Chinese EV companies. Why is this the case? I mean, Le Auto had record revenue, but the stock dropped 16% and it's at like 52-week lows. What? That doesn't make any sense. Well, it's all thanks to margins. And what's really apparent is the decrease in vehicle margins and gross margins under 20%. They used to be very good, and it shows that perhaps in Q2, right, because of the competitiveness and all the freebies and discounts that everybody has to do, and perhaps, all right, it's because of all this, they're giving away too many freebies, margins decrease, they're earning less money per vehicle. And this could also mean that for Nio could also see less margin, smaller margin in Q2. And we know for a fact, it's given that Nio is also going to have record revenue in Q2 because of the number of cars that they delivered. But with all the discounts, that they're giving out, all the freebies that they're giving out, is this going to hurt margins? Most likely. All right. Vehicle margins most likely will take a hit, and investors are sort of seeing that, even though Le Auto's having record earnings, record revenue, margins decreasing could also mean that Nio's margins would also decrease. It's just margins, man. And with Le Auto, what's really interesting is they're launching 3 pure electric vehicles in 2025. Could that have an impact on Nio? Well, if you look at the design, all right, it's going to maintain the similar design language that the Le Auto Mega has, which is very polarizing. Some people really like it. It looks like a bullet train. Some people don't. Some people hate the look of it. And some people here in China have said that it looks like a tombstone or a coffin or something like that. I didn't make that up. It's just what it is here in China. People, the design is very polarizing. And they're going to maintain this design language with their pure electric SUVs, which is also going to be very polarizing. That's going to sway a lot of people away. If they had just a regular design for their SUVs, for their pure electric SUVs, maybe they might have a chance. But now it seems like they have absolutely no chance. All right. And also, when your car is that expensive and you don't have battery swapping, you're relying on charging, but you don't have the charging infrastructure. So Le Auto's promising 2,000 charging stations at launch. So they're going to add like 2,000 charging stations. But how does that compare to Nio? Right? Nio has over 7,000 charging plus swap stations. It's just absolutely like day and night difference. So they got no chance. They got no chance when it comes to the pure electric vehicle market. And I think investors are seeing that. These guys, they're just selling hybrids, man. They're just selling hybrids of gasoline. The gasoline is the cheat code, so they don't have to put in an expensive battery. They can make the car cheaper. Are they compromising on quality and safety? That's not up for me to decide, but in my opinion, all right, I would definitely say that Nio uses better materials. All right, so could they be compromising safety and quality? I think we all know the answer to that. I'm not gonna say it directly. I don't want to get in trouble, but yeah. But seriously, how low can Nio stock go? I mean, we're already under $4. We're near 52-week lows. We've got earnings coming up, record revenue, but maybe with R&D and so much marketing expense with Onvo, could we see a big loss? Possibly. All right, they're spending a lot of money on Envo, and they're not really taking in that much money from Envo yet. So, expenses are high. That's kind of given. So it's yet to see what kind of reaction we'll get. Record revenue is priced in, but record losses, is that priced in? That's a big, big unknown factor. So that could also cause the stock to decrease a little bit. But I think it's more so the fear of this happening. All right, it's because Le Auto posted these record earnings and record revenue, and the stock still drops. Makes you think that perhaps with Nio, no matter what they come out with, the stock will probably drop after earnings. Le Auto beat earnings and their stock still dropped 16%. What happens if Nio doesn't beat earnings? Or what if Nio beats earnings? Are they still going to drop by 16%? So the fear of that perhaps is also pushing the stock price down. And right now, unfortunately, Nio is still in the growth phase, right? They're still spending money to grow infrastructure, building more factories, building more stores, Envo stores. They're still expanding, going into different countries in Europe, in the UAE. So everything takes money. So they're all spending a lot of money. And it's unreasonable to expect them to be profitable right now. Right? It's unreasonable. It's unfortunate. And until we see some signs that perhaps, cash isn't going to be depleted that fast, then perhaps, it's very hard for Nio stock to not slide down gradually. It's more so like cash. At the end of last year, it was 8 billion. End of March, 6 billion. What is it going to be at the end of June? Right? It's already September, but what is the end of June? Is it going to be 4 billion? That's going to raise a lot of eyebrows. If end of June is 4 billion, then that means end of September is at 2 billion? If they're using up 2 billion in cash per quarter. So the rate of cash depletion, right? Not so much losses, but they're using the cash to build factories and stuff like that. How much of that cash is being used up? All right, it's not necessarily losses. It's converting the cash into assets, but you also need cash to pay your bills and stuff, right? So that's the big question. All right, big question. How much is cash going to be depleted by at the end of Q2? Okay, at the end of Q2, if cash is at 5 billion, which I think it will be at 5 billion, that's still like a good amount, but still. Some people are going to see that, oh my God, cash is at 5 billion. And at the start of 2024, you had 8 billion. Yeah. So that's a big issue. Cash. Investors are very sensitive to cash. Doesn't matter how much cars you sell. If your cash depletes, people are going to get jittery. All right. People are going to get jittery. People are going to be inclined to maybe jump ship. So hopefully we're not going to see a huge cash depletion. Hopefully Nio's going to maybe address the fact of profitability, or are they going to need to get more money in, right? We talked about the cash injection from franchisees and investing into power swap stations. That's going to give a boost. Like, how much money are they going to get from this? Is it going to be enough so that they don't need to dilute shareholders? Do they need to offer new bonds? Hopefully not. Hopefully. All right. But it seems like, that's the thing that we're all worried about. All right. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.